Hi, welcome to the Clueless Luthier. I'm Mark, and this is, I believe, my fourth inlay experiment, but this one's different. I'm going to work on what I'm going to do with the headstock. I was initially thinking that I was going to put like a K for Kinsey guitars on the headstock, probably an abalone or crushed abalone, but I want to try something different. At least see if it's viable. I'm really intrigued by wood inlays. I think something quality looking about them. So I'm going to try to make a wood inlay and see if I can get it to hold up. I'm a little concerned about it being strong enough. So we're going to find out. I've sort of shown this process before, so I'm not going to belabor it. I cut out the K. I sprayed it with, if I can get it in the camera, just general purpose adhesive to hold it on long enough that if I'd gotten a little bit closer to the edge, I wouldn't have to gut it. But I might do some sanding actually for part of this. So I'm just going to trace it. Okay, so that gives me my design. Now I'm going to use a jeweler's saw to cut this out. All right, I have a jeweler's saw, and this is, hopefully this is going to come out. It's going to be hard to tell. Probably I should turn on. There we go. There's some light on the subject. I'm just going to, as much as possible. Biggest thing I'm concerned about is the wood grain. It's cracking. Okay. All right, there's a rough K, and now I'm going to do some finish work.
Hey, Clueless? Have you seen my good nail file?
No, honey, why?
Well, just making sure you're not using it to build one of your guitars.
I wouldn't do that. All right. See how much work I can do with this nail file. Round things off, clean up the edges. Now, in real life, the plan would be to basically route out the headstock deep enough, almost deeply enough, for this to be flush. Not quite, because you wanted to have some room to sand, and to glue that in. Obviously, this being my first time, I am not doing that. But I am going to practice on another piece of wood and see how it works. Okay, I'm going to try to do this without sticking it down and see if I can just hold it without moving too much. Okay. All right, that's what we have to route. Here I'm using an 1/8 inch Dremel bit to remove the majority of the wood on the interior while trying to not get too close to the edges. Now I'm using a 1/32 inch Dremel bit to do the detail work and clean up all the edges. All right, it fits in pretty well. I did this immediately. I forgot to release the plunger, and yeah, I have to be careful of stupid stuff like that when I'm doing it for real. It fits pretty well. There's a little gap here. There's a gap here. In reality, what I would be doing is saving the sawdust, which I've already saved sawdust from the part of it, but in order to fill these gaps, and I don't know if I can get enough from what I just did because I didn't take enough care, but let's see what I'm gonna go ahead and glue this in, and we'll sand it, and well, that in itself might help, so let's do that. Whoop, whoa, that came out fast. I think that was overkill. I'm going to have to pull some of that out onto something. Here's a rag. All right. Put this back in place. That. Quick bump of the camera. All right, we're gonna let that dry up. Well, I just took the clamp off, and by clamping that in, it's interesting. It made it almost completely flush. So I'm just going to do a little bit of sanding, clean it up, and so I take a closer look at the outcome. So here's the result, right side up. This is in boy, I don't know if I can get it in here. Here it is in contrast and color to the headstock. I need to get more light on there, okay. It's a little subtle. Here's another test I did off camera before. This is crushed abalone. That's another idea I am looking at. So far, that's my wife's vote. And you know who wins, usually, no. So, okay, well, that's it. That's it for this test. I really wanted to see how hard it was really to cut the wood and do an inlay. So, thanks for stopping by, and I'll try to think of the next test.